The first weekend of the NCAA Division I baseball tournament is complete. 16 teams are getting ready for super regional action this weekend. And really the best story that came out of that weekend involved one of our New Jersey teams making its first ever appearance in the NCAA tournament, turned it into the most unforgettable baseball weekend in the history of NJIT baseball. And we are excited to bring on Jared Kacso to the Jersey Baseball Show to talk about that and just talk about the amazing times and how NJIT became Arkansas North for a weekend and kind of lit up the college baseball world. So first of all, welcome, Jared. Congratulations on an incredible season and your graduation.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm really excited to be here, and thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So what was it about NJIT baseball this year? I mean, you really ran the gamut of, your first year they were 9-40, right? In the Atlantic Sun. I mean, so bottom of the bottom. To this year, coming in with a 9-game winning streak into the NCAA tournament, going down to Fayetteville, having the most incredible time. What was it about this year's team, first of all, that kind of led itself to such amazing experiences?
I really think the key factor in all of this was just how close we are as a team. We have some of the best 35 guys on the roster. There's no real selfish player, and we're one giant family. We hang out with each other all the time. We're great friends, and I just can't say enough positive things about all the players. And when everyone buys in to a program, to a team, to a season, even when things are going bad and you can stick to the routine, that makes for something special. So I think that was a difference maker this year for sure.
Yeah, because you guys start out 3-12, I think, something,
yeah.
Right?
And nothing was going our way. Balls were bouncing the wrong way everywhere. We had a bunch of guys kind of banged up, playing out of position, but we sort of got everyone back, and then we were able to flip the switch right after our Binghamton series and just go on a run.
So the team without a field, right? You guys play your home games at Kane, you said.
Yes, sir.
You sit down for the regional show. You're waiting for about 8 seconds until you find out you're going to Fayetteville and Baumwalker Field and the most electric atmosphere in college sports. And so take us through that feeling of like all of a sudden, that, okay, I'm going to be playing in front of more people than I have in my entire college career, 5 years at one time. And just kind of tell us how it went from there to like the build up to you get there on Wednesday, you said, and just kind of the build up leading up to, your first signs that this was going to be special.
Yeah. So for the selection show, I think it was kind of shocking because I don't think we were the worst 4 seed by any means. We had a pretty decent RPI. There are a number of teams below us. So I think the thought was just like, there's no way that this is going to be us playing Arkansas. Like I was sitting next to Kevin Blum, another senior on the team. And I turned to him and I said, there's no way that this is us, right? And he was like, I don't know, man. And sure enough, there's NJIT. We're going to Arkansas. And it was sort of shocking. Like I don't really think anyone really knew how to react right off the bat. And then as the week goes on, like,
turned out to be the best thing ever.
Yeah. I think people started going on Twitter more, and like we sort of saw what the media coverage was and the buzz, and like the Arkansas fans just started tweeting it. All of us saying, "Welcome to Arkansas. Enjoy your time at Fayetteville. We can't wait to watch you guys play." Just nothing but nice things. So I think that's when people started to realize like this is going to be a crazy experience. And then.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be the same in reverse if somebody from out of state was coming into Jersey, right?
Yeah. Well, I like to think that.
Sure.
But yeah, so Wednesday we get down there. We had to take 2 separate flights. One flight group had a connecting flight. Another one had us straight into Fayetteville. So it was sort of like a weird mishmash of like things going on. We're in the Fayetteville airport. People are like looking at us like, oh, there's NJIT. And then I remember specifically the guy Miles, who runs our Twitter account, posted a picture of like 10 of our players in red polos and like khakis. And they're saying like, we've arrived at Fayetteville. And I think the tweet blew up. It got like a couple thousand likes like almost instantly. And then we really realized like, oh, this is gonna be a crazy experience because people just left and right, like so happy to have you, like can't wait. It was just nonstop nice things to say about it. So that was just sort of like foreshadowing what was ahead.
Yeah, so you get through practice a couple days, right? Everything's sort of building. The first game, you're opening up against Arkansas. You're opening up against the number one team in the country, and it's the same as a 1 versus 64 matchup in basketball. And all of a sudden, it's the third inning, and you guys score a run in each of the first three, and it's 3-0 NJIT against the number one team in the country. In the third, they've got to bring in their player of the year candidate to pitch. Start thinking like maybe something crazy is happening here, but take us through that game, because that's still, it wasn't the one that you won down there, but still going to be the one that's going to be talked about for forever.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of I think the final attendance total was 11,000 people. And I specifically remember because I was trying to take it all in, as a senior, you want to take a little full 360 around the stadium when it's all filled up. So there were like 5 minutes pregame, and they're just running through like great music. And then you're looking up, the crowd's really getting hyped. They play Kickstart My Heart. And I'm looking around, and I specifically remember like one of our fans, like Kevin Blum's brother, Carl, he looks up and he goes, "This is awesome. Like, this is sick." And I'm like, this is going to be the moment that I remember right here. And sure enough, our leadoff hitter, Albert Choi, he goes down 0-2 right away. And the pitcher sort of leaves a fastball over the plate, and he hits a leadoff home run to start the game. So our dugout is going crazy right off the bat.
Yeah.
Crazy right off the bat. And then the next 2 innings, we just keep getting runners on base, and chipping away, one run. And then, everyone knows who Kevin Kaczo is, the pitcher on Arkansas, who's been lights out for them all year. We see him just sprint out to the bullpen, and then we're like, we got a ball game here. Like,
yeah.
Like they're not messing around. Coach Van Horn from Arkansas, he doesn't want to lose his game. Like, this is a must win. So it kind of stinks the way it wound up unraveling, but we definitely fought the whole game, and our offense, we hung right with them for the majority of the game. And if we could have minimized a little bit of damage in that fourth inning, I think it would have been a different ball game. We were talking earlier, Paul Franzoni hit a ball as hard as I've seen him hit, right in the gap, and their center fielder laid out, made a phenomenal play, saved 2 runs from scoring. And I think that might have been a little bit of a turning point.
Yeah, it's 5-0, 6-0. All of a sudden, anytime it's less than a grand slam, okay, we can. But once it starts getting more than that, it starts getting in your head.
Yeah, things get a little hairy. Maybe they were a little regional, like sort of nerves to start, but we definitely showed, I think, a lot of people that NJIT is a good ball club, and we got some players. We can hang.
So you get a ton of respect from their fans from that game, right? And that's kind of where it really went from we're NJIT to like we're NJIT/Fayetteville now, right? I mean, so tell me about the crazy day that happens Saturday, because it includes a picture with someone that most sports fans are going to know very well. Actually, before that, what's it like? Because you pitched in the game against Arkansas. What's it like throwing in front of 11,000 people?
I don't really know how to put it into words especially in a college atmosphere that we're not used to.
Right.
I think I was sort of I feel like a lot of pressure was off of me, honestly, because it wasn't an extremely tight game, and I sort of had nothing to lose. I'm not the type of pitcher who's going to get drafted or looked at. So I was just saying, here's my stuff,
It's like an out-of-body experience almost, right?
Yeah. I was just, here I am, like, come get me. I was trying to fill up the strike zone, and, one of their players hit a home run off of me, but it's okay. I'd rather that happen than walk a bunch of guys. So yeah. I think I just sort of said, here I am, like, here's my stuff. And I just was having fun, I come out of the game. I was just, everyone was giving me a high five, like, great job. And I was really having fun. It was a blast, and just get some,
So Saturday now, take us through that. You got a picture, you got a first ever NJIT NCAA tournament win, you got a night in the hog pen, which try to put that into words to explain to the person listening here. And I mean, those 3 experiences in themselves are probably like, things you'll remember forever, each one of them.
Oh, it was crazy. I think starting off the day, like the game against Northeastern, who is a phenomenal team. They really had a great season in the Colonial, and
Yeah, 20 in a row, I think, at one point.
yeah,
right?
they're a really, really good ball club. And before the game, actually, we're taking batting practice, and the people from the Hog Pen, they come in during our BP. So we were chatting with them, a lot of the pitchers during batting practice. They're telling us where to eat, like how good of a team we are. We're scrappy. They're telling us how they were really scared, that they were more nervous to play us than some of the SEC opponents.
Right?
Yeah. So that was really cool. And then during batting practice, Miles, the guy who runs our Twitter and everything, he told me, he said, "Hey, I know you're a really big basketball fan. We got Coach Musselman wants to take a picture with you." So I was like, no way. That's crazy. So me and Miles, we wound up, so this is us. We wound up leaving batting practice, and then we went right outside the stadium, and Coach Muss is right there. He hands me that Muss Bus shirt.
Yeah.
I shake his hand, and we get a quick photo. He's got the NJIT hat on.
Yep.
So
Yep.
That was just crazy. He's nothing but great things to say about Coach Muss. A couple of our players, they came back later, and they saw him again at the game. So that was cool. And as far as the Hog Pen, I mean there's no atmosphere.
Explain the Hog Pen to those of us who have never been.
Yeah. So the only thing that I can't really equate it to anything because it's so
nothing else on earth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So basically, what happens is it's similar to have you been to Lakewood Blue Claws?
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a lawn in left field, right? And basically people they've been waiting outside the stadium for who knows how long, 72 hours. I think some of the people were there, and they take lawn chairs, and as soon as the gates open, they sprint from the gate to the left field lawn to line up all the lawn chairs to like reserve the seats in the Hog Pen. So I don't even know how many rows, but it goes all the way back. It's filled. They're cooking, they're drinking beer, they're just having a great time, and it's rowdy, it's crazy. That's right where the Arkansas bullpen is. Our left fielder Julio Marcano, they're at first, when we're playing Arkansas, it's like, "Oh, Julio, like you stink," but then they started to like him. They started calling him Coolio. But yeah, the people are great. There's so many of them. They all want baseballs. They all want pictures. They all want autographs, and they're just great. Like it's great. It's really hard to describe, but there's so many of them. They're all jam packed, and they just love baseball. They love baseball, and they're excited to be there.
So you guys were down there on the Saturday night game, or?
Yes. So it was Arkansas, Nebraska, and we would play the loser after we beat Northeastern.
Right.
So we were going to play the loser of the Arkansas-Nebraska game. And a couple of guys are like, all weekend they were all saying, like, "Come on out to the Hog Pen. We'll cook you guys some food. Come on out to the Hog Pen. Say what's up." So finally, the team was kind of just like, let's go. Let's go see.
Yeah.
Let's go check it out.
Absolutely.
And we get there. So we get a security escort to the front. And people start chanting.
You never had a security escort?
Yeah. People just start chanting NJIT. They show us on like the scoreboard walking into the Hog Pen, and we get a standing ovation. It was crazy. I've never given more like knuckle touches in my life. People saying great game, like congratulations, just the nicest things that you could imagine.
Yeah, no. So and now another one you're gonna have to explain to the people up here in the north. Calling the Hogs.
Yeah.
What tell us what that's about, and tell us about the beer hat and all those kind of crazy things that go on out there.
So basically, like I think it's a school. I think they call the Hogs, right? So I think it's before the game starts, during a mound visit, after a home run. Basically, the whole stadium stands up. They all put their hands up, and they chant like "woo." They all go to once, and then they say "Pig Sooie." So they do that 3 times in a row, it's electric. It's insanely loud. And then after the last one, they go Razorbacks, and everyone's chanting at once, and it's just it's a crazy sound. Like to have 11,000 people all doing the same cheer at once is insane. And then when the bases are loaded, everyone takes their beer hats and they put them on, or they put the beers on their head, and they all just start getting loud, and it's crazy. So during our Northeastern game, actually, we were gaining a bunch of the Arkansas faithful, and they wound up coming to our game, and
That's awesome.
they started doing the Arkansas chants and like Wooooooooooo Pig Sooie for NJIT. So my dad, a couple of the other fathers on the team, they're putting their beers on their heads. They were all doing Wooooooooooo Pig Sooie. It was a sight. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah. At some point you got to realize this is never going to happen again, right? I mean, this is like, and what better way to have your last weekend of college baseball, and probably, competitive baseball, is like, you talk about going out on a high note. I mean, like, it's not, unless you somehow made it to Omaha, there's probably, like, you guys realize, I'm sure, like you said, you were not the 64th best team to get in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you probably realize now how, like, blessed and fortunate and lucky you were that that's where you went.
Yeah, we were saying how we wouldn't want to have it any other way. Like we loved being in Fayetteville, and you obviously can't recreate that atmosphere in any other regional. We think that the Mississippi fans, if we went to one of the Mississippi schools, they might have been a little less kind to us. But the Fayetteville Regional and the people of Fayetteville, like, Baum-Walker Stadium is probably the best stadium in college baseball, and for good reason, because they have I think the best fan base in college baseball. Just the most dedicated, the most loyal, and the kindest, really the kindest people that you could ever meet.
Yeah, now, drop the game Sunday. Obviously, a little bit of reality kind of creeps in, right? You guys are probably not meant to win 5 or 6 games against SEC and Big Ten competition in a short time.
Yeah.
But then you come home Monday morning and have a little get together, I guess, to watch the regional championship game, or you're watching with some of your friends, right?
Yeah, we live in a 2-story pretty much apartment, and there's 9 of us. So we were all just kind of hanging out, watching the game, enjoying some baseball.
And we knew who you were probably pulling for at that point, right?
Yeah, we were definitely rooting for Arkansas. The Arkansas players and Coach Van Horn, they were just nothing but class. So we were happy that they were winning. That I'm happy that the best team won, because I think they were hands down the best team in the regional, and I think that they're gonna go a long way, and we were excited to see them win.
So you see them in Omaha maybe in a week or two, and if they end up holding the trophy, I mean, it would be kind of a good feeling to know that you were in that region with them. You gave them a battle. You're right. I mean, those things all would come back, I'm sure, and matter, right?
Absolutely. And we played a really close game, and I think that'll really show that NJIT, we have a good team. We have a lot of good players, and I think it shows that we're close. We might have ran out a little bit of ran out a little bit of pitching, maybe just put some inexperience in, and I think in a couple of years from now, the goal for NJIT would be to win a regional, and I think that Arkansas game and that win over Northeastern really sets the bar and validates that NJITs, and we're going in the right direction.
Oh gosh, yeah, and this from playing at Barnegat, playing with Jason Groom, and your for your senior year, and some of the craziness that went on there. There's certainly enough talent in New Jersey.
Oh yeah, we say it all the time. New Jersey's one of the best states for baseball players. There's a lot of talent in New Jersey. And I think they had an all New Jersey lineup.
Yeah. It's cool to see them make it as well, right? To have 2 Jersey teams represented at regionals and win the conferences up here.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that just completely shows how talented the players here are in New Jersey. And we have a lot of New Jersey talent on NJIT. We have a couple out of state guys, to fill the holes, but a lot of our talent is from New Jersey, a lot like New Jersey high schools, and it's phenomenal. You know, the New Jersey baseball players have some grit, and they're tough. They're tough. They can handle any situation. So to see
11,000
New
fans,
Jersey teams,
you might not win, but 11,000 fans aren't going to intimidate anybody.
no, definitely not. Definitely not. A lot of tough players.
Brings out your best is what it does, right?
It does. Yeah, it does for sure. For sure.
So obviously not your call, but hey, maybe the idea of a NJIT coming down there for a non-conference season weekend next year would be a good thing.
I think so. I think the guys will love it.
That trip.
Yeah. I think the guys will love. I think the fans will love it too. You know, and I think playing Arkansas is only going to get NJIT better. You know, the better competition you play, the better the players. You know, the more mature you are after, and it'll help the team a lot if we could play in an SEC team or Arkansas. You know, develop that sort of the pipeline.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your background now that kind of, again, reality's hit and it is just finished with a master's degree, and what's next for you? I'm
not in a rush to get a job yet, but I'm definitely job searching now. You know, I finished my undergrad last year and my master's just in the May. My master's in financial technology, and I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I've been, you know, I do a little bit of trading on my own, but I'm excited to get into the workforce now, and I'm always going to look back on this time as at NJIT with such joy. And we had a crazy turnaround since I was a freshman from 9 wins, you know, to now. It's been crazy, and I'm really thankful that Coach McClellan brought me in, and I can't say enough positive things, and I'm looking forward to starting the next chapter of my life.
Definitely. Now, just for everybody, we want to get our sponsor in here, Edward Lesky Company, general contractors out of Union, 70 years in business, 908-686-7272, 908-686-7272, edwardlesky.com. Work safe, work smart, work tomorrow. Jared, thank you very much for trying to put into words what this weekend meant to you and share some of your experiences with us.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a great time.
Awesome. Thanks, Jared.